What is up, poker players? Hope you guys have crushed it over the last couple of days. I haven't played as much poker, but I did get in this session a 5-hour, 3,000 hand session with a net profit of $389, about 5 buy-ins. Very productive. Got in a lot of good hands, got in some interesting spots. Let's jump right into the hands. The biggest hand of the evening came from a cooler where we had pocket aces, and it looks like we are running up against pocket kings. We get an open raise from the cutoff, and I put in a 3-bet of $12. That's 4x. We are up against a player with a very deep stack and that does not fold very much to 3-bets. It's a great spot to get extra chips in the pot and to build a big hand because we are very deep stacked with the best starting hand. So we get 4-bet, and I see that this player has only 4-bet with premium hands. That means ace king, kings, queens, or aces. We have aces, so that puts out blockers for ace king, and very unlikely that he has aces as well. So the chances are this player is probably playing kings or queens, and we've already got a big pot building here. So I'm just gonna call the 4-bet pre-flop. There's 6250 in the middle before we even see the 3-card flop. Flop is 8s and 2 spades. I check here to try to induce bets from ace kings. The kings, the queens, or possibly the aces are going to be betting here as well, but we're going to get value from hands that miss, like the ace king. So this player bets 2/3 on the flop, only leaving 83.51 behind, and they will be calling off pretty much any bet here. They are beyond pot committed. Queens are going to get it in, kings are going to get it in. Ace king might even get it in this spot, but again, the chances are that this player does have queens or kings. So I just jam all in right here, and we get a call from the kings, and we are in a great spot for a pot of over $300. Just have to avoid a king on the turn and river, which we do, and take down that giant pot with aces over kings. We got in a lot of big hands with pocket aces. That is probably why we had such a huge net one. Looks like we're getting in another cooler here. This time we have pocket aces in the cutoff. We get an open raise to 3x from the hijack seat, and we put in a 4-bet of $11, and we get a call. Flop is jack high, 2-tone, 2 hearts. We have the backdoor flush draw, and we have the aces over the board. We get a check back, and I put in a bet a little bit larger than half pot, $13 on the flop, and we get a call. The turn is the 4 of diamonds. That does not help out any hands. We get a check, and I put in a bet of $25, half pot. That leaves us 60 behind that we could be getting in on the river, but we do get a jam. We are pot committed here, and the only hand that we are really losing to in this player's range would be pocket jacks. There's the chance that he called a 3-bet with pocket deuces. I doubt there's going to be many 4s within his 3-bet calling range pre-flop, but I do make the call, and we are up against queens. Another great spot for us, and we avoid a queen and take down that pot of $215 with the pocket aces over queens. This time we have pocket kings at the 100 NL table. We open to 3x from the hijack seat, and we get 3-bet on the button. I put in a 4-bet to a regular player with a wide 3-bet percentage. Doesn't fold that often to 4-bets, and this is a great spot to be building a pot with pocket kings. The only hand we are losing to right now is pocket aces, which only makes up a small percentage of this player's 3-bet percentage. He does make a call. There's 41.50 in the pot pre-flop. We see a flop of jack high, 2-tone, 2 diamonds. There's 80 in our stack. We have a little bit less than 2-to-1 stack to pot ratio, so already we are pretty much pot committed in this hand. I check back to try to induce a bluff here on the flop. A lot of the ace kings are going to put in a bet here. The ace queens. The queens will continue. This player has jacks. We are dominated, but that is only a small percentage of his range. He puts in a small bet, 13-14. It's not a very big bet size. To me, it looks like he's putting this in there with a big time draw or a hand that is already made, and he's trying to get everything in by the river. The hands that are already made are only pocket jacks or pocket 9s that could possibly be in this player's range. So I put in a raise here to make all the big draws that are making up the majority of this player's range to make a very expensive call here. He does jam all in. I'm calling for the remaining 27.44 in my stack and see that we were up against a big draw. We have ace queen of diamonds. He gets there on the turn, but I think we played this one pretty well. Our reads were on. We were a 53.43% favorite when we got it all in on the flop, but this player played it perfectly as well. He knew that we were pot committed. He did have a huge draw. He should have been getting it in. These are just some of those hands that you're going to win once in a while and you're going to lose once in a while. Not much you can do about it. That was our big loss of the evening, but we just got to forget about hands like that and move on to the next one. Another big hand, we have pocket aces over kings. Again, this is why I ran so well in this session. We were on the winning end of a lot of these coolers. For every time we are on this side of the cooler, we're going to be on the opposite side. This big winning session could have just as easily have been on the losing side, and we could have been on the reverse side of all these coolers. We get an open raise from under the gun +1. Folds around to us in the big blind. I put in a 3-bet of $11, 3.66x, and we get a 4-bet to $26. This is a regular player, plays very tight, has only 3-bet premium hands, and this player is going to be playing a very tight range in early position, has shown that they really like their hand, so I'm just going to jam here, and we get a call. Pocket aces against kings. We flop an ace. He is drawing dead going into the river, and we take down another cooler of almost $200. Big time pot. Not much involved in the thought process though. This one looks like it could get interesting. We have pocket jacks in the big blind. We get an open raise from under the gun. From a recreational player, only have 208 hands on this player. Folds around to us on the big blind, and I just make a call here. You can argue for 3-betting against a recreational player, but usually players are playing a pretty tight range in this spot, so I elect just to call. And we wind up flopping top set. I check back. He continuation bets for $4. I just call in this spot. The turn is the 10 of hearts. Did not improve many hands. I check back. He bets $8. Now I put in the 3-bet. I make it 27 to go, 3.5 times his 3-bet, and he makes a call. There's now 68.50 in the pot. We have 66 behind. The river is the 4 of diamonds. If this player hit the flush, all the chips are going to get in the middle. If this player has a hand like queens, kings, or aces that would play it like this, he might also call when I put in a large bet on the river. So we're going to get the most value when we jam all in here in this spot. Did I think he would be calling with a 5-7? Probably not. He has 2 pair. Didn't think I was going to be seeing this hand, but this is another one of those hands that we would be getting value from that we probably wouldn't if we checked back in this spot. So we do get the call, and we take down another pot of almost $200 with a set over 2 pair. Again, we have pocket aces, this time in the cutoff at the 50 NL table, and it looks like we are in for a super cooler. Aces against kings and queens. We get an open raise from under the gun +1, and we get a 3-bet from under the gun +2. I just make a call here in the cutoff, in position, against 2 regular players that are already in the pot. We get a 4-bet jam from a recreational player in the big blind, gets rid of the open raiser, back to under the gun +2, and he rejams for the remaining 65 in his stack. I have pocket aces. These guys played it to perfection for me. They got all the chips in, and I hardly had to do anything. All I did was hit a call button, and again, I'm going to be hitting the call button. We have aces against queens and kings. 67% to win the entire pot. Jack high flop does not connect. Deuce doesn't help. We need to avoid a king or queen on the river, and it's a 6, and we take down that pot of 125.75 cents. Let's take a look at the balance and cash in on some of the rewards that we have accrued in some of the latest sessions that we played. The balance is currently at 42, 52, 72. Playing well. We have moved up to the 200 NL. I cashed in on the combat points doing Sunday satellite tourneys. I got into 3 of them, 2 entries for the 50K and 1 entry for the Sunday special. I will get to those tournaments in a later video. We got knocked out of 2 of the big tourneys when we had pocket aces. We did not run very well. We got it all in pre-flop with the aces and lost both times, but we did get $50 in cash from the satellite that we had already won an entry for. We have gotten enough CP points or RP points for a $100 medal here. Let's redeem that medal right away and add an extra $100 to our stack. Click to redeem. Done. Head back over to the cashier and we now have 43.52. Little extra padding in there. This week we were also able to move up to a 149th on the Beast leaderboard, racking up almost 4,200 points, and we were awarded a $100 cash prize for our rank in this week's leaderboard. So there's an extra $100 into our bankroll as well. We put in about 25,000 hands this week, playing a little bit over 25 hours. Now if we can double that and put in 50 hours and about 8,700 points, we could be awarded the $250 a week cash prize. That is doable. It could be a good weekly challenge. It will be much easier when we move up in limits again, but it's very possible. We'd have to play a lot of poker within 1 week, but it's not outside of our reach. Something to think about. Maybe we will do this. Maybe we will wait until we move up limits. Head down to the video description for links to all the poker products that I use, as well as America's Card Room. You can check out the Beast leaderboard for yourself. If you have not signed up for America's Card Room yet, use promo code DKPoker when signing up. You will receive a $1,000 cash deposit bonus, as well as 50 tournament bucks. Click that subscribe button if you guys have not done that yet. We have tons of great poker action coming out. I am excited about moving up limits, and I hope you guys are excited as well. We will have a lot more action in these videos, big pots to come. Hopefully they will be coming our direction. You guys can see how the bankroll is starting to move up a little bit more quickly now that we are moving up in limits. Hopefully this continues and we can make a run at that $100,000 challenge. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or you enjoy the content that I am putting out there on this channel. Leave those comments or questions down in the comment section below, and I will be back with a new video very soon. But until then, I will see you guys out on the virtual felt.